Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Selection Joe Thursday on Proving Ground TV. I am Michael Harrington, your host for the evening. We made it to the end of the regular season, and I must say it has been a great season. A lot of entertainment, a lot of great basketball. First, we here at Proving Ground would like to thank everyone for their support, for their love, to the basketball players for providing us with such entertaining and competitive basketball on the court, to the staff for creating an environment and an opportunity for the city of Detroit basketball players to showcase their talent, and to the fans and the city of Detroit for coming out each and every week to support Proving Ground basketball. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the dedication, the love, and support that the city of Detroit has shown us, and we just want to say thank you for all your support and your hard work, and for everything that you guys have done for us this season. Okay, now as you guys know, this season for summer 2015, the playoff tournament format has changed. There is no more East and Western Conference as of the old way. This year, or this season I should say, there is going to be a selection committee picking the best 16 teams for the Proving Ground Big 16 playoff tournament. The format goes as follows. There are 5 automatic bids. 4 of those automatic bids coming from division winners. So if you are a winner of your division, you automatically get a bid into the Big 16 playoff tournament. The 5th automatic spot coming from the Wednesday tournament. The winner of the Wednesday tournament will get an automatic bid as well. Now, those automatic bids do not guarantee you the top seed, do not guarantee you the bottom seed. What it does is just give you an automatic bid for the Big 16 playoff tournament. If you are a division winner, you do get a 1 seed, but what region you go in, that your resume determines where you go as far as your seeding. The other 11 spots, again, are picked by the selection committee. Those committee members are picking based on strength of schedule, opponent strength of schedule, who you beat, who you lost to, and more importantly, who your opponents beat and who your opponents lost to. As we all know, the number 1 seeds were decided by the division winners. So I just want to go ahead and announce for the people who don't know who the division winners are, the number 1 seeds are going to go as follows: Paper Chasers, Money Team, Detroit Elite, and Impact will be our number 1 seeds. And going as the number 1 overall seed to the Ambassador region will be Paper Chasers. First here, we're going to talk about the overall number 1 seed, Paper Chasers. They are well deserved of the overall number 1 seed. When you look at their resume, 9-1 throughout the regular season. They are led by a 3-headed guard monster between Jamar Jackson, DJ Foster, and Ray Green. These 3 guards come to play every day, every night. They are combined 60% from the field shooting. just as well as 40% from beyond the three, led by DJ Foster, who is shooting 49% from the three this season. They are the number 2 scoring team in the league, putting up 781 points this season, as well as the number 1 fourth quarter scoring team. That says a lot when a team scores the majority of their points in the fourth quarter. Lets you know they're well conditioned, they're poised, they're focused at the end of the game. This team also is one of the best free throw shooting teams this season, shooting 74%. That actually leads the league as far as the teams that have been eligible for the Big 16 playoff tournament, which is amazing. Anytime a team can shoot 70 or better as a team from the free throw line, you'll win a lot of games in the clutch. This team leads the league in steals. So not only are they putting up points on the offensive end, they're averaging 7.1 steals per game this season on the defensive end. With those intangibles and the hustle from the inside presence with Mark Robinson, this team is geared to win a championship. They are a heavy favorite this season in the Big 16 playoff tournament. And the number 1 seed in the Motown region will be Detroit Elite. Your number 1 seed in the Motown region, Detroit Elite. Detroit Elite is a powerhouse. They are the number 1 scoring team in the league. They average 84 points per game, and not just averaging 84 points a game, but they are winning by double digits with an average of a little bit more than 11 points a game, which says a lot for their team. Anytime you can win games on an average of double digits, that means you're doing it on both ends, offense and defense. They are number 2 in field goal percentage as a team. Scoring that many points and still able to shoot at a high percentage is going to be a hard thing for teams to overcome in the Big 16 playoff tournament. I look for them not to slow down, but to increase the pace. You got to take your hat off to GM Keith Paris. He's put together a great team with great chemistry. He's got the right pieces flowing together, and it shows on the court, where this team has 6 players averaging double figures. You don't find that too much in a recreational league, but when you have players that are willing to sacrifice their game for the better good and to get a team win, it makes the team look better. It makes you feel better about your team. This team also has a formidable front court with Cortez Lipton, Drew Maynard, and Sean Hawkins. They have an inside-outside presence. They're blocking shots. They're hitting threes. When your number 4, your power forward, is second on your team in assists, that is a sign that your ball's moving around, and it's not just going inside the post and going to a black hole. This team is well balanced, probably the most balanced team out there. I don't know if they can sustain the intensity throughout the playoffs. They have a tendency, is shown, to wind down towards the second half of this game. Most of their points are scored in the first quarter and the second quarter. It'll be interesting to see if this team can keep that high velocity that they need for 4 quarters throughout the playoff tournament. But I do look forward to them making a deep run into the playoffs. And the number 1 seed in the Renaissance region will be Money Team. Money Team is the defending champions from the winter 2014 season. 2014 going into 2015 season. They have the defending reigning MVP in Rio Curry. And when you talk about Money Team, it's hard not to talk about Rio. Rio is probably the most dominating person in the league. He leads the league in rebounding. He's I think maybe second number 1 in scoring. He plays it on both ends of the floor, and Money Team thrives off of that with Rio, from my aspect there. But not just with Rio. The team, they lead the league in blocks. Rio averages about 4 blocks a game. They're the best offensive rebounding team. When you couple that with Rashawn Marshall, Daryl DG Garrett, and Rio and Dominique Hollins, rebounding, they are one of the best rebounding teams in the league. They actually lead the league in rebounding on the defensive end as well as the offensive end. The only issue that I see with Money Team going into the Big 16 playoff tournament is they can get a little lackadaisical. Sometimes they are not as motivated as they need to be throughout the game, and they play sort of catch up just to make the game exciting for themselves, which can lead to a lull in shooting, a lull in ball control. Was one of the main reasons why they lead the league in turnovers. They're just not always focused at all times on the court. But don't let that fool you. This team is about winning. They have proven that in the past. It doesn't matter what you do regular season. It doesn't matter what you do in the beginning of the game. It's how you close out games, and they are closers. I look to see them again making a run for a championship behind the play of Rio, DG, and Buck. Again, one of the top big threes in the league. You can't count them out ever. All 3 players average double digits, so they continue to show why they were champions from previous seasons. And the number 1 seed in the Cadillac region will be Impact. what can you say about Impact? They are the turnaround team, the comeback kid. This team, although they don't win big, they win. Finishing the regular season at 8-2, they are a grinded out team. They always say to win a championship, you got to have a few things that you got to have. You got to have good guard play. You got to have a big man presence inside, and you have to win the 50-50 balls. And this team does all of that. With the newcomers Sean Amaker and Jody Hill, the guard play is superb. With Carl Moore and Jamar King on the inside, they can hold their own with the best of the big men. Their big three, Carl Moore, Sean Amaker, and Jody Hill, one of the best three tandems you can have in the league. Each player averaging 20+ points, shooting a high percentage from the field. You can't ask for a better offensive tandem. The only problem with that is they don't get a lot of help from the other players. The players do play their role, they chip in where they can, but if the big three go, so goes Impact. They haven't had that type of test as of yet. Hopefully they will come through with flying colors on their first test, and I'm sure they'll be tested in the Big 16 playoff tournament. This team is one of the top 3-point shooting teams. They are league leading, let's say league leading, but tied for first in team 3-point shooting. This team is a grinded out team. You know, again, their record speaks for itself. They don't blow teams out, but they find a way to win, and that's all you have to do to get a championship, is just keep finding ways to win. I look forward to this team making a deep run in the playoff tournament. I don't know if they are championship worthy right now, but they're definitely a contender for a championship team. You gotta give your hats off to Coach Hines. He's done a tremendous job in turning this team around, coming from 5-9 last season to an 8-2. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We have the #1 seeds for all 4 regions. We're going to now take a look at the Ambassador region and find out who made it into the Big 16 playoff tournament and who's filling what spots. Now, as the #2 seed in the Ambassador region, that spot is going to go to Fast Forward. Alright, and the #3 seed in the Ambassador region is going to go to War Ready. Well, there you have it. The #2 seed Fast Forward will be matched up against the #3 seed War Ready in the Ambassador region. This matchup is built around the old classic, old versus new, young versus the veterans. You have the young guns on Fast Forward, Mike Douglas, Javon Thomas, the 2 Martells, looking to speed things up, take advantage of their young legs, the quickness, going against the veterans from War Ready, Arthur Johnson, B. Woods, Samarco, Shoddy. They're crafty, they've been there, they've won championships, they know what it takes to get done. The question is, which one is better? Is it the young legs? Is it the crafty veterans? War Ready will definitely look to slow this game down, sort of play the game in the 50s or the 60s. If it's played in the 70s or 80s, I give the advantage to Fast Forward. A slower game again helps War Ready. Too close to call. Both are formidable teams. Both have a chance to advance. Both have the quality, the bench, the starters, all the necessary tools to advance to the next round. Alright, and the #4 seed in the Ambassador region is going to go to Above the Rim. Above the Rim gets an at-large bid coming out of the Wednesday League. They did well in the tournament. They lost in the semifinals, but their resume was strong enough to get them a match as a play-in tournament game against Best Kept Secret, which they did win. So they are in at the number 4 spot in the Ambassador region. This is a good matchup for Above the Rim. They've been looking for the respect that they say they deserve. Even though they play on Wednesday, they think they are a Sunday team. So this is a good match to go against the Paper Chasers. Basically to show what you're worth, to show what your team can do. This rivalry between Above the Rim and Paper Chasers has been building for some weeks. The two coaches have been going at it. A couple of the players have been drawing back and forth. So it'll be a very intense matchup. I look for Above the Rim to give everything on the court 100%. I do believe the Paper Chasers are the favorite in this, being the number 1 overall seed. But it definitely should be a good matchup. Okay, the number 2 seed in the Motown region is going to go to the Real Splitters. And the number 3 seed in the Motown region is going to go to Guard Heaven. Alright, there you have it. The number 2 seed Real Splitters in the Motown region versus the number 3 seed Guard Heaven in the Motown region. This game is built on speed. I look forward to Real Splitters with all the talent they have with Carlos English, Jeremy Allen, Avo, to speed the game up, to keep it at a fast pace, a lot of intensity with their defense. They are stock loaded with big men and Shane, Terrence, Westside. So, you know, big Shaqs down there. It's going to be a tough matchup for Guard Heaven, but Guard Heaven does have the intangibles. They have the intensity. They're feisty. They play with a lot of heart. I look forward to their guards giving Carlos English and Jeremy Allen all they can handle in the backcourt. Definitely a game that's going to be played in the 70s and 80s. I don't know where it's going to end as far as who's going to do what, who's going to shine, who's going to, you know, come out on top. But I know definitely this is going to be a good game and one that you don't want to miss. And the number 4 seed in the Motown region is going to go to PBL Select. Okay, PBL Select gets the number 4 seed in the Motown region. They will play Detroit Elite, the number 1 seed. This is an interesting matchup. Detroit Elite, you know, they're 8-2. They've struggled in the past, you know, second half of the season. PBL Select is on a great run. They lost in the championship game of their tournament, but they've been playing well the second half of the season. I'm sure they'll have a game plan to match up with Detroit Elite. Again, Detroit Elite is built with shooters, inside, outside presence. Everyone all the way down to the number 4 spot, from 1, 2, 3, 4, can shoot the outside 3. It'll be interesting to see how PBL Select matches up with them. They will be undersized, but PBL Select does play a lot of aggression, a lot of pressure. So it'll be interesting how Detroit Elite handles that pressure without their guard Malik. Will some of the bigs have to pick up some of the ball handling? Great matchup. Look for it. A lot of intensity. An emotional game. Back and forth. So there it is. PBL Select with the number 4 seed in the Motown region going against Detroit Elite, the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed in the Cadillac region will go to Hoop Gods. And the number 3 seed in the Cadillac region will go to MBK. There it is. Number 2 seed goes to Hoop Gods. Number 3 seed goes to MBK. This is going to be a grudge match. It's going to be a grinded out game. Hoop Gods, they started off slow. You know, first half of the season, they picked it up in the second half of the season, played their way into a number 2 seed. MBK has the same story. You know, started off slow in first half of the season, but they got all their pieces together. They have some big pieces in Derek Nix, Deshaun Wood, Keith Appling coming into play. It's going to be a great game. MBK is, even though they are the 3 seed, some might say they are the favorite to come out of this region. Hoop Guys might beg to differ, but nonetheless, it'll be a good matchup between Hoop Gods and MBK. And the number 4 seed in the Cadillac region is going to go to the Sonics. The Sonics, as a number 4 seed, is scary. That team is unpredictable. You don't know who's going to show up, who's not going to show up. I can say when all pieces are there, Albert White, Heem, Woody, when they have all their pieces there, they are one of the best teams in the PBL. It's a very scary matchup for Impact because Impact doesn't know how to game plan for this one. You don't know who's going to show up. You don't know what players are going to show up. The Sonics have been sporadic all season, but I know Impact will come to play with their big three between Sean Amaker, Jody Hill, and Carl Moore. Again, them three are averaging 60 points a game between the three of them, shooting well over 55% from the field. So definitely going to be a good game between the two. It's just you don't know what to expect from the Sonics. But there it is, the number 1 seed Impact will face the number 4 seed Sonics out of the Cadillac region. And the number 2 seed in the Renaissance region goes to In the Zone. And the number 3 seed in the Renaissance region goes to Too Easy. Okay, there you go. In the Zone getting the number 2 seed, number 3 seed going to Too Easy. In the Zone, it has been a powerhouse all season. They were 1 game away from winning their division and garnering the number 1 seed in the regions. But they still, even though they're number 2 seed, they have number 1 seed talent. This team is built from top to bottom. They have guard play with LJ. They have inside presence with Derek. I look for this team to bring a lot of intensity. You know, going into the tournament, they lost their last game. Some players weren't there due to some other obligations. But this team is built to win a championship. It'll be a tough matchup for Too Easy at the number 3 slot. But Too Easy is on a roll right now. They beat some top teams in the last few games. And I think those wins that they got in the last few games helped them get their seed as a 3 and as opposed to a 4 or not even making the tournament. Too Easy is a tough team with Eric Evans at the guard position and as well as Carl Finley. 2 guards that can light it up from the perimeter as well as get to the rack. I look forward to Too Easy to grind it out and sort of play a high intense pressure game against In the Zone, as well as In the Zone bringing the defense, the man-to-man defense that they're known for. That pressure is going to come from the perimeter with LJ, Sam, and Uzi. As long as they can continue to apply the defensive pressure, I believe they'll come out on top. But nonetheless, it'll still be a good game between Too Easy and In the Zone. And the number 4 seed in the Renaissance region will go to Team Hustle. Okay, Team Hustle getting the number 4 spot in the Renaissance region. They will play against number 1 seed Money Team. This is an intriguing matchup. You have Money Team coming in at 7-3. They did lose their last game coming into the tournament, and you have Team Hustle, who is on a fabulous streak right now. They're playing well together. I think the chemistry has come together for Team Hustle with TJ, Sticks, Johnny Mills, and KC. This team is going to play hard on defense. They move the ball. They play with a lot of fast-paced intensity. Whereas Money Team, they're built around the big 3. DG, Buck, and Rio will do what they've always done. Outside shooting, fast breaks, dunks, just all around good basketball. So it'll be very interesting to see how Team Hustle game plans for Rio, because nonetheless you do have to game plan for Rio, DG, as well as Buck. Just knowing what those 3 are going to bring to the table, I'm sure the coach for Team Hustle will have a great game plan dialed up for his players. Be a very interesting matchup, nonetheless.